Hi everybody, welcome to my video on a pretty voice. This is 8 steps to beautiful singing, and the step we're going to be going over today is proper breathing. In addition, if you like this video and you'd like to read more about this, you can go ahead and purchase my book, A Pretty Voice, 8 Steps to Beautiful Singing, in the links below on my Amazon store or at my Etsy store. In addition, if you really are loving this course, you can go ahead and wait for a few more months because I will be spinning out a course, an online course, where you can actually take an online set of voice lessons from me, Jem Chung. All right, so let's get into it. Proper breathing. I think what's important for singers to remember about breathing, because it's funny, people kind of overthink the concept of breathing for singing, really. And what I find for myself and for most of the singers that I teach in my studio here in Long Island is really just usually over breathing, first and foremost. In order to sing a phrase, even a pretty long phrase, I really don't have to breathe very much, maybe just a normal amount, a fistful of air. I usually tell my students, I breathe for singing pretty similarly to how I would breathe for speaking. So even as you're seeing me speak these phrases, I'm going to take a breath before the next phrase, and then I'm going to take another breath before I say the next phrase, and then I'm going to take another breath. And I'm sure that you noticed that when I'm breathing, I'm not breathing all that much. I'm just about a fistful of air, and that's what I would do to sing the phrase. I would just take about a fistful of air, and then I would sing the phrase, and then I would keep going, and then I'd take another fistful of air, because breathing for singing is relatively simple. It very much mirrors breathing for speaking. Okay? So that's the first thing, is when you're breathing, something that will really help, most singers that feel like, oftentimes the ways to know you're just taking in too much air are things like you're going to be stacking air up in the upper chest, kind of like that Tasmanian double body, like the big upper chest, and that's not necessary. You definitely want to push the air low into your lower belly. And again, you don't need a lot. Another thing you'll notice is you feel like you're going to hyperventilate, or you feel like you're going to pass out, or you just feel like you can't catch your breath. And that's often, often we think, oh, I need more air. And really all of this is like this sort of domino effect that's happening because I took in too much air. I'm just breathing too much. So when you're breathing for singing, that's the first thing to think about. The second thing is to know that the air does go low for singers. We sing with a little apple belly or a little pot belly. Usually when you breathe in air, because you're not taking in a ton of air and you're utilizing that air, your belly doesn't come out all that much. For me, it's, an inch or so, but I sing with a little apple belly or a little pot belly. So when I inhale, I go ahead and just push my tummy out. Another way of looking at it, this isn't very polite, but I tell the ladies in my studio, push down on your crotch, like you're going to the bathroom. Really, that's really the simplest way I can say it, is just push down, okay? In your pelvic region, push down, and also think, allow your little apple belly, your little pot belly to appear when you inhale. And also while you're singing, go ahead and continue pushing down in your pelvic region, push down on your crotch like you're going to the bathroom, and go ahead and also allow that apple belly to exist while you're singing the phrase. So singing, it's a lot like swimming. I used to be on a swim team, and I used to do swim races, and I remember oftentimes they would say for the first lap, don't even breathe. Just jump in the pool, dive in, and just go. And then once you turn the bend, and you're on your second lap, go ahead and breathe, like every 2 or 3 strokes. And the only way to get through that as a swimmer is to be very calm and to be very still in your body. And you sort of go into this acceptance mode as a swimmer that you're just not going to get a lot of air. And when you do, you're going to take it in and you're going to utilize it, to the best of your ability. And that's how singing is. You may sing, a professional singer may have, say, a concert that she's singing for approximately an hour, let's say. Well, when I'm singing, I feel, in a sense, like I'm swimming underwater the whole time. I've just learned to calm my body down, to relax my body, to go ahead and take the air that I need. If I'm feeling out of breath genuinely, I might take a bigger, inhale of air. Or if for some reason I have a really, really long phrase or a really high long phrase, you may see me take in a little more air. But in general, I'm going to try to remain very calm in my body. And I'm going to inhale in a normal amount. I'm going to push it low, push down in my pelvic region, allow my apple belly to emerge. And I'm just going to go ahead and sing the line, sing the line, sing the line. When the line is done, or when it feels like a logical place for me to breathe, or just when I need to breathe, I go ahead, take in just a small fistful of air and keep going. So it's really important to maintain a sense of calmness in the body. And that takes a little bit of time, because when you're first learning how to sing, you sort of feel like you're panicking for air. You just almost feel like you can't quite get enough. There are subsidiary reasons why sometimes more air than we'd like to escapes through our vocal cords. Sometimes people have like a really, really breathy tone, and that's something to work on. Sometimes people's cords don't phonate properly or phonate all the way, which phonation means just simply that the vocal cords come together and vibrate. And sometimes they just, air will sip through, extra air will leave prematurely because maybe the vocal cords aren't coming together and phonating or vibrating totally properly. It's just things that singers have to work through in order to have the best sort of overall sense of breath control. Sometimes there are, like I said, sort of like subsidiary reasons, and so you can continue to work on the technique for the singer. But in general, I find a really great starting point for all beginner and intermediate singers is just to repeat what I said in the video. Go ahead and start to pace your breathing very calmly and just take a normal amount of air in, unless it's a really long phrase or you're recovering from a really long phrase, or it's a really high phrase, like a really, a set of long high notes that require more energy. Just in general, just assume I really don't need a ton of air, and go ahead and use that air. Push the air low into the belly, allow yourself to push down, and then push your apple belly out. Don't stack air up in the chest. You don't need to have a big chest. That's really common, like breathing like, the hills are alive. No Tasmanian devil bodies. It's just, the hills are alive with the sound of music, with songs they have sung for 1,000 years. You can see that it was just, just me taking in little bits of air, a fistful of air, normally just in the same way as you can see me in this video talking. I'm going to take in about a fistful of air. I'm going to keep talking, and then I'm going to take another one when I need it. Okay? The only time you don't want to breathe is in the middle of a word. The hills are alive with a sound. Just don't do that. You can kind of breathe anywhere, really. As a singer, people get kind of funny about that. Really, just breathe wherever you need to, as long as it's not in the middle of a word. That's all. Okay, so I hope this was a nice little introduction for you all to breathing for singing. If you like this video, go ahead and like it and share it. And don't forget to check out my ebook, A Pretty Voice, 8 Steps to Beautiful Singing. Don't forget to keep your eye out for my course, my online educational singing course that will be coming out. And if you're interested in one-on-one voice lessons with me, go ahead and go to my website at jennylinchung.com or click the links below. All right, guys, have a good day. Bye.